lady is recognized.
The friendship that has been developed on the Rules Committee, and I'm so thankful and grateful that I also get to participate in it. So after weeks of waiting for the Republican conference to finally get their house in order, we have 11 days to fund the government, or we shut down. My colleagues across the aisle say the House has already passed 7 of 12 funding bills, but they know those bills are so extreme they won't get the necessary Democratic or Republican votes in the Senate and don't have any chance of becoming law. Today we'll consider H.R. 4664, the House's Republicans' Financial Services and General Government Appropriations for fiscal year 2024. Let's begin with the numbers. The bill is 58% below last year's levels. An agency that was born out of the 2008 financial crisis, a crisis that occurred on Republicans' watch and brought great suffering to families and businesses. This bill also cuts oversight of Wall Street when it cuts the SEC by $149 million. Remember, the SEC came into existence during the Great Depression. In each of these financial crises, Democratic Congresses and presidents stood with small businesses and working families against greed. Yes, the greed of Wall Street and payday lenders. So when Republicans cut and disrupt these agencies, they say to Americans, we stand with the greedy payday lenders who will take your paycheck and charge 400% annual interest or more. This bill tells us that they are okay with dangerous or defective products making their way into our homes and businesses. And finally, Republicans can't seem to stop protecting tax cheats. We saw it last week when they wanted to raise the deficit by $12.5 billion, which is what happens when Republicans don't let the IRS go after millionaire, billionaire tax cheats. This bill does that again, rescinding $10.2 billion from funding we gave IRS last year, and then making sure the IRS can't modernize or protect itself from cybersecurity threats, because Republicans cut almost half of that request. Why would Republicans want to make the IRS more vulnerable this way? To add insult, they don't want Americans to be able to file their taxes for free. Really? And one of our wonderful ranking members' favorite things, really? You don't want to let regular Americans be able to file their taxes for free? You want to make sure for-profit companies can charge taxpayers to file their taxes? As if this H.R. 4664 wasn't bad enough, H.R. 4664 is also a direct attack on our democracy and the security of our elections. It cuts grants that help states and counties have the resources they need to run safe and secure elections. So I'll end where I started. There are just 11 days to fund the government, and we'll need bills that are bipartisan, that address the real needs of American taxpayers instead of just protecting the wealthy and well-off. And I want to respond to the concept of where we are in our economic status today. You know, under the Biden administration, we've added 14 million jobs. We've had 5 quarters of consecutive economic growth. And I remember what it was like before President Biden took office. I remember those dark days when people were out of jobs, when the businesses in the communities I represent were going to go under if we didn't pass the bills that we did, the numerous things, the bills to be able to allow the small businesses in our communities to stay open, to make sure people didn't get tossed out of their apartments and houses. It was dark back then. But what we have done and where we have come to today is actually really great, especially when you compare it to the other countries that have not done so well as we have. So I like what we are doing. We just need to do more of that. So I want to thank the witnesses for being here today, and I really look forward to today's discussion. But I must say, Mr. Chair, that while we will continue to work and to reach out our hand to say, let's work on a bipartisan basis, we cannot stand for the kinds of cuts, nor can we stand for the culture war items that are in here, including the attacks on reproductive health care. And so with that, I yield back.
Thanks, gentlelady. Without objection, any prepared statement